have you seen any example? Don't say any names, but have you seen any examples of situations where you feel that comics who have achieved that sort of thing where it's really affected them and not in a good way?
Um, no, not. I don't think I have really. I think there's different. I think there's different characters that go into it, and so I generally think that if you're a nice person and you get famous, you're still going to be that nice person. There's a few people who have become famous who aren't very nice people, but I've got a feeling that they weren't particularly nice anyway, however you define nice. But the fact is that have they been destroyed by it? I'm not sure. I mean, you hear the stories in rock and roll of drink and drugs and all this stuff that destroys it, but that I got a feeling that they might have gone that way anyway, in one sense. So I don't really mix around with really famous people. There's a few that I kind of friendly with, and the way it affects you is you could get recognized all the time. So people are trying so hard to become famous, and then when you become famous, trying so hard not to be recognized. So there's that kind of side to it. But that's just how your life can change. In that sense, I mean, I've got one of my best mates from school who I started. He's a disabled guy. He's not a comedian really, but we got into abnormally funny people. He's now on Gogglebox, and he is being it's really strange going out with him now because he's being recognized. He has dwarfism, so he's a small person. So he would always be pointed at anyway on the street because people would do that, and people are a bit crap at that kind of thing. But now he's being pointed at and recognized for being on television as that person. He actually quite likes it because at least he's not being. At least it's coming from a nice place now. So that's quite an interesting one of someone who's become famous. You're getting famous, much more recognizable, and he quite likes it. Anyway, yeah. So I don't think that quite answered your question, but I don't know enough to know whether it's kind of really mucked up people. Yeah, I mean you can see it in the media, in rock and roll and all that. Rock and roll. I sound like an old geezer there, a bit of a boomer. But
That's a safe response. No, it's
yeah.
cool. No, but you sort of dabble in and out of comedy because I noticed that you did a gig with Lollipops, and I know that you do a lot of photography and like you speak to like Mooch Michaels, who's like he's a very successful comedy promoter with Vauxhall. Like in 5 years, what he's built, bloody hell.
Well, you should see what he's doing now. I mean, I mean, in all of those kind of people. I mean, he's kind of. It's not. I don't know if it's public yet, but so I'm not going to say it. But there's a massive project that he's hopefully going to sort out, and you need those people on both sides. Don't you? You need people who are comedians, but you need promoters like that as well. Look at Hot Water. That kind of franchise. That not franchise, but that kind of what they've done. They were the first people who started kind of really recording what was going on stage and putting out on social media and made stars out of people who hadn't done television. You talk about Paul Smith and people like that. That can sell out stadiums without having to go on Mock the Week or any of that stuff. So I think that the everything's that's what's really changing. Getting to understand how to promote stuff, PR stuff, and this is what Mooch is doing, I think, as well. He's trying to understand what he's, the comedy club scene. Whereas Hot Water were very good at that, and in a way, someone like Top Secret have done really well.